I'm sensing there's this energy about, should I stay or should I go? If I stay, it seems like I'm going to be if I stay, it seems like it's safe, maintaining the status quo for an earth sign is usually the safer bet. But if I go, there's so much out there. There's like this whole world, a lot of expansive energy, a lot of just opportunities out there. But I am a loyal person is what I'm sensing for a lot of you. So I do feel that don't put yourself in a bind where you're doing something out of guilt, out of fear, or even out of a sense of obligation to another person. We all have as many reasons to stay as we do to go. Do what your soul is telling you to do, because it is your life, and we can't control what other people do, but we have to take control of our own lives and to claim our sense of power back, okay? For a lot of you, it's kind of like this confusion about, when am I ever going to find a home? When am I ever going to feel so comfortable in my home where, I can feel safe and I can feel secure. So that sense of security is very important for a lot of you coming in for this month. And I feel that, you're starting to question a lot of people around you, their intentions. And I feel for a lot of you, it might just be family members. Okay. So, and I'm also sensing like, rumors, information circling about. Innately, I feel like Virgos, you're a very good judge of character because you're very observant and you're very sensitive to nuances and minor details. So I feel like on an intuitive level, you pretty much know who you can trust. But I feel like information circling about other people, coming in from other people, I don't feel it's gossip. I don't get the gossip coming in. I haven't been getting it for the past 6 months for a lot of you. So I don't feel it's gossip. I just feel like, just information circling about, and you trust the source of the information. So you're trying to put all the pieces together in your head to have a firm understanding whether or not somebody is sincere, somebody in your household possibly, or in your environment. And you're not able to do it fairly or objectively. And let's just say that you hear some information coming in from a source that you trust, but the information that they're telling you, I don't feel that they're lying about it. It's just they're limited, or their scope of knowledge might be limited, so they're not giving you the whole information, or they might not even know that they're giving you inaccurate information. So this is a good month for you to get mental clarity, clear up your mind, and also trust that intuitive sense you have in your heart about who has your best interests at heart. Okay, so I feel like divided loyalties here, and where people might ask you to pick sides. But let's go into this spread. So let's look at the crowning energy. Let's look at the past energy first, because I feel that that will take us to the present day. Okay, so in the past, we have the hangman, and the hangman is a situation in this deck. It deals with a sacrifice, okay? So the sacrifice has been made, something that you were like deciding between two things. Your life was at a standstill as a result of trying to weigh the pros and cons of both of these major decisions, kind of like, should I stay or should I go? There's so much trouble brewing in, staying. But in going, I don't want to be the one that reneged on their promises. I don't want to be seen as the irresponsible one. But I definitely feel a major decision has been made in the recent past where a lot of you are still dealing with, the residual impact, which is that you don't want other people to see you as somebody who's irresponsible or flaky, okay? But you feel like the situation was untenable, so you couldn't stay. So I feel like a lot of you might have made a decision to leave and to walk away. So what's bringing you here in the present situation is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups usually indicates to me childhood innocence in the traditional Rider-Waite. I do feel there might be some information about children. So that sense of divided loyalties is coming through where, for a lot of you, you don't want to communicate with your ex-partner, but you might have children together, or there might be communication coming from the past. So this is like a little bit of a blast from the past coming back through because the other person sense that you are serious about leaving or you have already left. So they're trying to communicate with you to, do one last plea to appeal to your sense of loyalty. I feel someone is using your loyalty against you. So I feel that this is a very manipulative way of handling, divided loyalties, or at least, to make you question your sense of loyalty. Don't let this person, whoever it is, if it's a manipulative person, draw you back into their lives, mainly because, you were serious about walking away. So just be very careful about that, okay? I also feel that for a lot of you, there might be some news coming through from a person that you might have grown up with, a person that you've known for quite some time, a person that you had a very, very strong soul connection with. Okay, so this can play out in one of those three ways. And I do sense as well that you're kind of questioning, why are they coming back? What do they want? So that is something that's happening now, I feel, and you're kind of in anticipation and in the process of, not knowing what their intentions are. It's still kind of weighing heavily on you, okay? What's crossing you here is the walking away situation, the Eight of Cups. This is sailing over all of your emotional worries and troubles and creating a new path for yourself, okay? In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, I do feel that it is a man walking away from a situation that he's unhappy in because he wants to go out and find something else. So it doesn't mean that, physically walking away, but it does indicate somewhat emotionally checking out as a result of it. So I do feel that there might be a situation in which, travel is also indicated in this card here. In this deck, I'm reading it differently. So I do feel, travel is indicated. Travel, there might be somebody that is telling you, come see me. And as a result, you might have to take a trip, or the other person might take a trip in order to come see you. So either way, there is going to be a sense of like a reunion, a sense of being able to find a place that you can call home, okay? What's crowning this reading here is the Eight of Coins. And the Eight of Coins is pretty much working very, very diligently. For those of you who are in a situation where, the travel opportunity is presenting itself, you're either working very, very hard in order to make the travel situation possible, or you're working very hard and you're working so diligently that you might not have the time to travel. So someone, I feel like there's travel, someone coming to see you, someone that you have a very strong connection with, and there's going to be this massive celebration, a lot of information coming to light at the end of this as a result of this trip. So it's very, very fruitful and positive. Now, the foundation here is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is usually a situation where you have to defend yourself, your values, your beliefs, your decisions, and you have to stand firm in your conviction. So this is a card that tells me, if you've been dealing with somebody from the past who might use emotional manipulation to get you to stay, or they might question your sense of loyalty. And your sense of loyalty is innate to you, and you know where your loyalties lie. So if someone is using that as a tool to get to you, then just know that it is emotional manipulation. So don't stand for it. You really have to, defend yourself here, okay? In terms of what's coming in, I do have the Emperor, and the Emperor is in the reverse position. So the Emperor is a card about, maintaining and defending your domain. So the foundation tells me there is a situation where you have to defend yourself, but you're getting weak in the knees. So this might be a person that you're dealing with that is using these underhanded tactics to corrode your sense of self-esteem, your conviction. So the advice here is to stand really, really firm in what you believe, but at the same time, to I feel like, being open-minded is going to be required of you as well. So the emperor can be somebody who is, he sacrifices, he rules whole empires. So it's a big responsibility for one man to do. So regardless of whether or not you're, male or female, I do feel that it is a situation where you might have to delegate if it's a work situation and you're working very diligently and you have way too much on your plate and you want to take this trip. You might have to delegate. You might have to ask somebody for help, and you might want to do it on your own just to push yourself. But I do feel that it would be in your best interest to carve out pieces of your empire and let somebody help you rule it, okay? At the same time, I do feel that the emperor in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is somebody who has to make very, very difficult decisions in order to appease everybody and, for the greater good. So there has to be sacrifices made, concessions made in order to protect the interest of the greater good. So this is a month in which you are dealing with a lot. And I feel like it's sort of like, you have to sacrifice like your own sanity or your own self-enjoyment in order to appease to whoever you're working with. You have to make concessions, especially when it comes to children, when it comes to family, by dealing with your ex-partner in order to provide stability for the children. So there's a lot that is required of you. I feel like you're being hit by multiple things, work, personal, moral obligations, and then at the same time, people constantly um, questioning your motives. So I feel like it's a very, very taxing energy that you're dealing with. And a lot of you are just kind of like pining for that vacation where you can just take off, in the middle of the night and not have to deal with all of this. So I feel that, just hang in there a little bit. And if you can, carve out that piece of time for yourself. Ask other people for help. I feel like it's not the work that is really physically draining or demanding, or, it's not the time constraints. It's just a lot of people meddling in your affair, questioning you like left and right. And it has you feeling very uncertain, unsure in your foundation, okay? So it's sort of like something you believed in, since you were a child, something that you're very emotionally invested in, your sense of loyalty. Something is being questioned, and as a result of it, you're just like, I don't know if, if what I believed in is being brought up for question, then, how am I supposed to be sure about anything? So this is a pretty much a very philosophical month when all of these questions are being brought up, and I'm sensing very strongly, dubious loyalties or divided loyalties coming in from other people, trust issues and things like that is being brought up. And it's understandable because, we also have Mercury in retrograde where secrets are coming to light. I don't feel that a lot of this is a revelation. This is something that already happened, a year, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. So you've already made a choice. You've already made a sacrifice. And for a lot of you, it was a major, major turnaround in your, or a major event in your life where things are starting to turn for the better, especially on the work front. But now, the past is coming up and it's forcing you to re-examine your own stance on things, okay, your own position. So don't let other people corrode your self-esteem or whatever it is that you believe in. Stand firm in your conviction. And I think I believe I said this with Taurus as well. So maybe it's an earth sign thing. Now, in terms of the advice, we have the Sun card. And this is a card about happiness, success, feeling very, very exuberant. Okay, so for a lot of you who might be traveling, I do feel that, this is a very good month for you to do it. If you're going to someplace warmer, if you're like in the northern hemisphere, going somewhere warmer, you are going to be able to have a great sense of, emotional stability, happiness, contentment, and also that peace of mind. And I definitely feel that the Sun card, this is a very fiery energy, which denotes to me that you really have to stand firm in your ground. What you're doing and what you've been doing all along is the right thing. So don't let other people corrode your or bring in that question about self-doubt, because you've been doing it just fine all these years. So, you have to really stand firm and not waver in your resolve, okay? This is a card about also exhibiting that sense of individuality, okay? So I do feel that for a lot of you, if you've been in a relationship for a really long time and all of a sudden there's a breakaway from that relationship, it's kind of like we go through an identity crisis where we feel like it's so odd for us to make decisions on our own, to not make decisions as a unit anymore. So a lot of you are coming into this new sense of, freedom, and you're feeling great about it, and you're so happy waking up every day and being able to make decisions for yourself independent from other people. So this is a new sense of, traveling with less baggage, just feeling very ecstatic about your life. So the advice here is that if there are anxieties about, starting over and things like that, don't worry, because you're going to have a lot of success. The work situation is going to pan out phenomenally. And as well, if you just maintain very, very firm convictions, you're going to have a lot of success, because you're leading other people by example, basically. So in terms of your external environment, we do have the moon card in the reverse. So this is that, clearing up of confusion and uh, the mental clarity or lack of clarity or misinformation that you've been dealing with in the past. All the confusion is being cleared up for you, okay? I'm also sensing that for a lot of you, you need to have some fun. You need some music, dancing, going to like doing things that are considered guilty pleasure, like indulging in a day at the beach, playing hooky, getting off work early and just, enjoying the sunshine, or going for a walk, doing things that are not um, all about work and responsibility, because you need to really free your mind. You're keeping yourself so encapsulated with a lot of, guilt, with a lot of people who are constantly um, pestering you about, your loyalties and about where you stand, that I feel that taking some time off alone for yourself, to listen to music, to do some, guilty pleasure things, going to a coffee shop and staying there for like 5-6 hours, reading, your guilty pleasure book, and, sleeping in very, very late on the weekends. Those are the things that you really need to make yourself feel good again, okay? Um, what's in your hopes and fears here is we have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups usually indicates to me a lot of options opening up, which can be very, very scary. But ultimately, for most people, options can mean, wondrous things happening for you. So a lot of suitors, this can also denote a situation where you have many, many options and you don't want to make the wrong choice. So this is a hopes and fears, and you feel that, whatever sacrifice, whatever severance you had to pay, you had to make, and whatever new travel opportunities are in store for you, new ventures that are in store for you, you're hoping that it's going to pan out beautifully, and we all would want that. But I do sense as well that it is a very, very positive card. It is a card as well about fantasies. They're not realities just yet, but there is a lot of fantasies here. So for a lot of you, if you've just recently gotten out of a relationship and you're going through the dating process and you feel like, wow, these people, if you have like recently separated and the new people are asking you about your past and about why that marriage failed or that relationship failed, and you're feeling on the defense because you feel like, oh no, they're judging me. But keep in mind that, they wouldn't ask about your past if they weren't interested in you. So no matter what you want to say about your past, you should be honest. But no matter what, they wouldn't ask unless they were interested in hearing your side of the story. So this is a perfect time for you to, tell your side of the story. I hope that makes sense. But I'm sensing that very strongly because I feel like a lot of you are dating. There's a lot of music involved here. There's a lot of going out, feeling quite good, socializing, and you're put in center stage, there is also opportunities as well of having very strong soul connections with people as well, possibly with a water sign, because in the outcome position we do have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is, I'm reading this as an energy because people usually pop up in the outcome position. Okay, so I do have potential dating partners, potential work partnerships as well, but I feel like dating partners, it would be a water sign: Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is somebody who is very mesmerized by you, and this is usually to me a love offer. And I do sense that this person sees you as somebody who is larger than life, and they're highly romantic, very innocent, very childlike, very harmless. Okay, but I do sense that because of it, they can be a little bit naive and they can take everything at face value. So be very careful about not lying to them or breaking their hearts. So I definitely see a lot of communication coming through, a lot of text messages possibly coming through with this water sign. The other person that you have on your plate as well as a relationship suitor is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, when it's in the reverse position, it can indicate, somebody who is quite energetic but also combative. Okay, this is somebody who is very opinionated, and they might not have all the information before they form their opinion. So one might say that it's an ill-informed person or ill-informed opinion. So you just have to be patient here. But between the water sign and the air sign, I do feel the water sign would be a better fit for you. So air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, Libras. And what I'm getting as well is that this person is a little bit confrontational. So, the whole defense situation is something that you might have to deal with, being on the defense, defending your domain, your boundaries, and things like that, standing firm in your convictions. So a lot of you might be wondering, might be dealing with an air sign, and the air sign might be somebody that likes you, but they also want to know what you're about, because I feel like there's confusion, with the moon in the external environment. There's confusion. You might project. Going back to what I was saying, there might be news circulating around you, and the news is coming from like reputable sources, but they might not have the whole story. So, communication is for sure what's going to be required. Asking important questions for sure when it comes to new relationship partners. But, being honest and open communication, that's just, my advice overall. In terms of these two romantic partners, I feel like you've got your hands full. So, there's like talks of travels, there's just communication coming in left and right, very, very swiftly between the water sign and the air sign. You've got work on your mind. You've got people that are asking you for help and asking you for advice. And, you've got a lot to do to rule your empire. So that's what I said earlier about, delegating and carving up a piece of your empire in order for other people to help you is going to be really vital for the next few months, but more importantly the last 2 months of January. So I definitely feel a lot of you have sailed on to a stable situation. You're happily doing your work. You've got everything pretty much under control at this present moment. There is going to be a little bit of a time constraint, but you're feeling quite good. A lot of the new people that are coming into your life are very, very positive, because I don't feel, confusion. Um, I don't sense, dishonesty and things like that when it comes to communication. So this whole sense of divided loyalties, I do feel it is something that has happened in the past. And other people are not questioning your loyalties, but they are thinking they might be using it as a tactic in order for you to re-engage in conflict with them, or to re-engage in a relationship or a situation with them. So don't let other people's underhanded tactics make you doubt your sense of loyalty, make you doubt yourself, make you doubt your conviction. Okay, so stand very firm, because the foundation looks good. You're in a position where you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. So I do feel that whatever you do, it will pan out greatly. But I do feel a little bit of overextension, overexertion. So I feel for a lot of you, there might be, a lot of vigorous activities at the gym. Like, I feel like going to the gym, pulling weights, and, feeling as if maybe you packed on a few pounds and you're trying to burn the weights off. And as a result of it, um, there could be, new suitors that you're interested in, and you're trying to shape up for them. So, which is great, which is great. So I do feel that the next 2 weeks is pretty much, maintenance stuff, okay?